everyone, this is Aurora who is new on YouTube. I have worked on knitting and crocheting for more than 5 years, and recently I found there are so many people and struggling to starting out about knitting and crocheting, and I exactly understand all the confusion and the little frustrations that come in ways starting out. So that's why I start this channel. I just want to share some of my handy knitting and crocheting tips, plus some easy to follow, beginner friendly, and step-by-step tutorial videos. So let's just learn and grow together and just enjoy this interesting and creative journey. So in today's video, I will walk you through the most essential basics in knitting. We will just cover casting on, knit stitch, and purl stitch, and binding of the scrap. So let's go over all supplies you will need today. You will only need one ball of yarn, a pair of knitting needles, and small scissors, and a tapestry needle for weaving ends. And for the needle size, I think the US size number 3 to number 7 would work best for the beginners. And I highly recommend wooden or bamboo needles instead of metal ones, because stitches slip off metal needles easily, and which is really tricky for new knitters. As I only have metal needles on hand today, but you'd better get wooden or bamboo ones if you have a choice. I'll put my yarn bone on a yarn holder to make my knitting much smoother and faster, but this tool is totally optional. You can simply set your yarn bone just beside you if you don't have one. And once you get more skilled and really love knitting and want to boost your crafting efficiency, a yarn holder will be such a great helper. But it's completely unnecessary for total beginners, just for right now. The very first step of knitting is casting on. That means creating loops to put yarn onto your needles. Now let's move on to casting on. We will use the long tail cast on today. As the name suggests, we leave a long yarn tail before starting. That's how it got its name. You will need to leave a tail about 3 to 4 times the width of your finished piece. To avoid running short, I will leave extra long yarn just to be safe. Now let's start casting on. Use your dominant hand. Mine is the right hand. Place the yarn between your thumb and the index finger, right above the base of your thumb. The yarn connect to the ball is your working yarn, and the long loose end is a tail. Now grab both ends of the yarn together with your other 3 fingers on your right hand. And we will work with your yarn section between your thumb and index finger. Now pick up both of your knitting needles, hold together. Use the needle tips to press down on the yarn between your thumb and index finger. Then bring the needle tip down and gently wrap the yarn towards your body. Let's just do one more time with slow motion. Press down, wrap up towards your body. That's it. Next, just bring the needle tip up under the yarn loop on your thumb, like this. Let me do it very slow and you can follow. Then just wrap the working yarn from your index finger over the top of both needles. And hold on to the working yarn, then slip the loop on your thumb over the 2 needle tips and let it slide down. and then tied it up gently and smoothly. Here we go, we have finished our first cast on stitch, and now we just repeat these steps. Now insert both needles into your thumb coming from below and wrap the working yarn from your index finger over the top of both needles, and then slip the loop on your thumb over 2 needles and tie it up. I will repeat this a couple of times with slow motion. Each little loop you created around your knitting needles is called a stitch. How many stitches should you cast on? It's all up to you, but today for your little practice piece where I'm going to cast on like 20 stitches, and I recommend you to do the same for now. So let's just repeat these motions until you count all together 20 stitches around your 2 needles. Now we have 20 stitches on our needles. There is a very long tail left behind, but never mind, we will weave it at the end of this video. The most basic way we create a loop around your needles are called knit stitch. And we already learned the cast on stitch, and now it's time for the most basic one, the knit stitch. But before that, we need to remove one of the needle off. We do it like this. Secure these stitches with your fingers and remove one needle carefully, like this. If you only use one needle to cast on, you can keep it as is. So now let's start. Make sure your working yarn is on the right side of your stitches. And about the way of holding your needle, the working needle, I don't know how to say, maybe it's like holding your knife. Imagine you are having dinner with your right hand holding your knife, like this way. For how to hold the needle, I don't know how to say. This is a very common way, and like holding your knife. Imagine you're having your dinner and with your right hands holding your knife. For how to hold the yarn, wrap your working yarn counterclockwise around your pinky finger and then bring across your palm up behind your index finger. This is how it looks like. Let's do once more. Wrap your working yarn counterclockwise around your pinky finger and then bring it across your palm up behind your index finger. So this part of working yarn here supposed to be nice and tight. So if it isn't, you can always pull the yarn to tighten or loose to make some adjustment. So now pick up your second needle. This is what we call the working needle, which you use to create your project. And when we do net stitches, make sure the working yarn is behind your working needle. And we just move all the loop on your left needle to the tip. So insert your working needle through the first loop on your left needle and make sure your working yarn is under your working needle. And now use your index finger to lead this working yarn to make a counterclockwise around the working needle. I need to highlight it one more time. The working yarn is under the working needle instead of above over the working needle. Like this way, which is really wrong, and we'll put it under the working needle and then insert the working needle through the first loop from the left side to the right side. Use your index finger, lead the working yarn, make a counterclockwise around the working needle. And you can use your left hand index finger to help push these working needles to help pull out this working yarn. And then we can drop the loop from the left needle. Then we just finish the first knit stitch. And what we need to do is just to repeat. Okay, let's do one more time. Insert the needle from the left side to the right side and use the index finger to lead the working yarn. Make a counterclockwise around the working needle. Push the working needle tip and pull out. And you're supposed to keep your working yarn resting on top of your index finger at all times. And this lets you easily adjust the yarn tension and position with your finger. and it will save you so many times as you keep knitting. Let's continue our stitches. Insert from the left to the right side, counterclockwise around the working needle. Pull out, use your left index finger to help push the tip to pull out the working yarn. And one more, insert counterclockwise and pull out and drop. Insert from left to right side, counterclockwise, pull out and drop. Insert counterclockwise, pull out and drop. Pull out, drop. And we just continue to do this until the last loop. Insert counterclockwise, pull out, drop. 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 And insert. And last one, insert counterclockwise, pull out, drop. See, then you just finish your first row, and we for all the line on the same row we call a row. And to continue, we just turn it around and make sure this working yarn is on your right side. And we can just repeat. Hold your yarn this way from the right side, from the left side to the right side. Okay, when you do this, you make sure your line is below your working needle instead of over your working needle. Okay, you need to make sure it's below. And then insert and make a counterclockwise, pull up, drop. Insert left to right, counterclockwise, pull out, drop. Insert counterclockwise, pull out, drop. Insert. Insert. Counterclockwise, pull up, drop. Insert, counter. And you can just keep doing this, and then I will show you what it will look like after the rows. This is what we do, normal stitch, and turn it around. I will show if you keep doing for several more lines. So if you keep do this, you will get one like this. We already know how to make net stitch, so now let's move on to the purl stitch. In a way, the purl stitch is basically the mirror image of the knit stitch. So now let's just start working purl stitches. And hold the yarn exactly the same way as before and grab your needles, and this time make sure your working yarn sits in front of your working needle instead of behind of it to start the purl. Make sure your working yarn is in front of your working needle and insert your working needle to the last loop on your left needle from right to left, the opposite direction of a knit stitch. And still use your right index finger to bring the working yarn and wrap it counterclockwise around the working needle, and just like we did for knit stitches. And then use your left thumb to push the working needle and pull the new loop through. And by this way, we just finished our first purl stitch. And please remember, always make sure your working yarn is in front of your working needle. And let's just repeat this. Insert, counterclockwise, and pull through. Insert from right to left, counterclockwise. Pull it out, drop. Insert, right to left, counterclockwise, pull up, drop. Let's do a couple more times. From right to left, counterclockwise, and pull out the yarn and drop this loop. Insert from right to the left, counterclockwise, pull out and drop. Insert, counterclockwise, pull out, drop. Insert, counterclockwise, pull out, drop. Insert, counter clockwise, pull out, drop. And we just keep doing this. And this is what we call the... And now you have learned the purl stitch too. Overall, knit and purl are the two most fundamental knitting stitches. Nearly every knitting project you will make uses both of them. Once you learn knit and purl, you have basically got the foundation for most basic stitch patterns. Now let's just continue and finish this row for the purl stitches. Insert needle from right to side, counterclockwise and pull out, insert, counterclockwise and pull out, drop, insert, counterclockwise and pull out, drop. I will keep doing this very slow motion so you can follow. And now you know both knit and purl stitches, and if you want your fabric to lay flat, just like store-bought sweaters, we usually alternate one row of knit and one row of purl when knitting flat pieces, and this trick keeps your work even and smooth, and which looks very neat. So let me just show you how to make this. We worked the purl stitches on the last row, so let's knit all knit stitches for this next row. Just to do what we learned at the start of this video, keep your working yarn under the working needle and then insert the needle through the last loop from left to right. Use your right index finger to guide the yarn and wrap it counterclockwise around the needle and pull through the new loop. Insert left to the right, counterclockwise, and pull out and drop. Insert left to the right. Make a counterclockwise, pull out the new loop, and drop. Insert left to the right, counterclockwise, and pull out and drop. And we just keep doing the same thing. Let's just finish the whole row. And we just repeat the same thing until you finish it, the whole row. And we do stitches, so we turn it around, and this row we will do purl stitch. Purl stitch the working yarn over your working needle, see, and insert the needle from right to left, counterclockwise, pull up, drop. See, this line is on over. Insert from right to left, counterclockwise, pull out, insert, counterclockwise, pull out, drop, insert, counterclockwise, pull up, drop, insert, counterclockwise, pull out, drop, insert, counterclockwise, pull out, drop, and we just then finish this line, and we just repeat this one row of stitches and one row of purl stitches. See, you can these areas. It's very neat. I will do several more rows to show you exactly what is it, to make it more clear. I know for most of you as a beginners, each motion will be struggle. You need to hold the yarn, hold the needle, and press the needle, pull out the yarns. You have so many things to do. It's a little bit struggle, but please be patient. When you learn new skills, your muscle and your mind would need some time to feed, right? And put it around back and do purl stitches. When you feel so difficult and not to follow, I recommend you to take a break, short break. We can just stop the video here and maybe you can grab a cup of coffee and do some exercise. As I totally understand beginners need time to get used to knitting, so drop a comment below and share your funny knitting stories or little mistakes you have made. Let's keep our comment section positive and support each other. Grow our skills side by side. Now you can see the finished look of alternating one row of purl and one row of knits. But there is one important thing I need to point out for you. When you knit flat fabric with this knit purl alternating pattern, the surface lies really smooth, yet the left and right edges tend to curl up a lot. So please keep this in mind when planning your projects. If you don't want a rolling edges, this simple alternating row method will not be your best pick. And of course, there are several ways to stop your work from curling, and I will cover this method in my future videos, since this is just a beginner basic tutorial, so I will not get into that today. So far, we have learned how to cast on, knit, and purl. So when you finish a knitting project, you have to learn how to bind off. So don't just pull the needle out straight away, or all of your stitches will unravel and ruin all your hard work. That's not what you want. So now let's show you how to do the bind off. And first of all, we can just do 2 knit stitches. Still remember, this working yarn is under your working needle, and insert needle from the left to the right side. Make a counterclockwise. The second one, do the same thing. And now you can see there are 2 loops on your working needle. What you need to do is take your left needle and pick up the second loop and then pass it over the first loop, like this. Just pass it over the first loop. And now we have only one loop on the working needle. That is one stitch bound off. Then we just need a regular knit stitch. And now we have got 2 new loops on the right needle again, and use your left needle to lift the second loop on the right needle and then pass it over the first loop. Then we just repeat this motion until you reach the very last stitch. Let me show you a few slow motion repetitions. Here we come to the last stitch. Just bind off the last stitch the same way and pull the yarn tail all the way through the loop, and then just cut your yarn. So now we have just finished our small practice piece today. Here is one last trick I want to show you. We need to weave in this long tail, and don't just cut it short and leave it loose. If you do so, and your knitting will unravel over time, and we will use this tapestry needle here today to secure this thread properly. Here is how to do it. Thread the long yarn tail through your tapestry needle and weave the tail through about 6 to 8 stitches on the back side of your fabric. until you feel secure enough. I have made around 8 stitches here. And then pull the yarn through, straighten your fabric, and then just cut the extra yarn off. And for another tail, we do the same thing. And now we have covered all the core basics for new knitters today. If you found this guide useful, a like and subscribe means the world to me, and it helps me to keep creating more easy to follow tutorials for beginners. Feel free to share your knitting journey in the comment section, and let's support each other and grow together. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I will catch you in the next one. Happy knitting!